I wrote the email to ask Robert Kohlenberg to ask about this, and I received an email back from him, and it was totally different from every interaction I had with all professionals in psychology until that point.
You are about to listen to part of a series where every month a leader from our community shares with us a little about themselves, how they came to find out about the ACL Global Project, as well as what drives them to do the work that they do, and perhaps even a bit about their hopes and dreams. This is the ACL Member Spotlight series, and in today's episode we are featuring Rodrigo Xavier.
My name is Rodrigo Xavier. I'm 41 years old. I live in a small city. It's called Três Fronteiras in the São Paulo state in Brazil. I work as a psychotherapist and a teacher of psychotherapy courses. Yes, there's no typical days. I have typical semesters. Some days I have some classes to teach or research groups to advise, but it's not every day 2 or 3, 4 clients. No, some days I have one client, some days I have 4. Some weeks I have 1 or 2 days with classes. Some weeks I don't have any classes at all. So there's no typical day of work, but I also have my personal life. So every day I cook, every day I take care of my cats, I clean my house, I spend some time relaxing, reading, watching movies or series, hearing music, playing music. I like to play piano. So this is the most short I can say about a typical day. I was getting my master's degree in 2009, and it was 1 year after that Functional Analytic Psychotherapy book that's called Awareness, Courage, Love, and Behaviorism. This is the first time where this idea appeared in the community of therapists. And I was making a research about therapy sessions and saying what's happening there. I was interested in the shaping process of the client's behavior. So because of that, my advisor told me that I should use one tool from FAB that was very used in that moment. So I wrote the email to ask Robert Kohlenberg to ask about this. And I received an email back from him, and it was totally different from every interaction I had with all professionals in psychology until that point. In this moment, I became very interested in FAB because of this interaction with Bob. I think something like, oh, this is the professional I want to be with other people who reach out to me, you know? And here in Brazil, when the second book came, people were a little afraid of those ideas, of using names like awareness, courage, love in the context of behavioral therapy. They were like critical. But my personal experience with Bob was very good. In that moment, I decided to go a little against my colleagues here that were criticizing FAP because they were saying that this was a shift away from behavioral analysis. So deciding to go in this direction of have this understanding put me a little away from behavioral community in Brazil, you know. I was always there when everything started. A paper about this, I was reading. A meeting about something, I was there. I went to Seattle in 2014 to study. again in 2016 for a conference. And when the ACL Global Project started, I heard, oh, Mavis is doing these meetings with people to spread the word about ACL, and it's to give some help to people. It's against loneliness, but it's not psychotherapy. So I was like, whoa, I want to know this. I want to be a part of it. And a friend of me told me that it was just to send an email to Mavis, and she would give me a link to participate and to learn about. So I did this, and I started to participate as a listener, as a participant, right? But very fast, like 1 or 2 times after this, I started to have a group here in Brazil. I was living in Guarujá at that time, so I started a group in my clinic, in my place where I was working at that time. After this, the pandemic started, so I started to run only online meetings, and I'm still doing this until today. Well, personally, I remember that it was like a meeting, meeting my soulmate. Before FAP and before ACL, I already had my values, my way of behave, way of see life, but it wasn't not discriminated. It wasn't not like this. I have a way to describe myself. I didn't. I was just living. But when I started to study and started to practice and to participate, I started to give a name to my habits, to give a name to my way of live, and to give a name to my way of view the world. So things become more clear about myself and about who I am. For example, all my life, I was very open to who I am in the moment and very clear to my friends and to my colleagues what I think, what I want. And now I know this is courage. When I was a teenager, I loved to hear music from Spice Girls and the energy and the connection with friends, like a person who you choose to be part of your life, different of your family, that your family you don't choose, you only live with them. But with friends, you have to choose and you have to see if you connect, if you don't, and then create a group of people that you connect. And now I know this is awareness and love. In the context of my professional life, I I feel more secure to work as a psychotherapist. I feel that I have a basis, a very structured basis to work with my clients and to organize what they give me as a, well, this is my story, well, this is my problem, I want help with that. And I can pick what they are saying to me and I can understand inside the ACL paradigm, like if we can call this a paradigm, but as a model of understanding things. And this helps me to conceptualize the case and to understand if with that client we will work more on building awareness, or with this client we will work more with building courage, or this client will work more to building love. And this helps me to make my work, you know. I believe that success is to do something that I value, to be in touch with my values, with my goals, with my identity. Since I was very young, I think about what is important to me and I try to be close to it. So, for example, when I was in the school, I had the opportunity to go into a vocational assessment. And that was when I learned that I become a psychologist. And with 17 years, I started the psychology class oriented by this vocational assessment. And I found that, whoa, true. I really like this. Every class with too much thinking, too much reflection, and validating for myself that I'm doing what I like. And this continued when I started to work with clients. Every client is a very good experience. Even the hard cases, I'm always very motivated to help, to be with my clients, to be together, to become a team with my client. If you like connection, if you want to be part of something that has meaning, like being connected, being gracious, being loving, come with us. And the world is needing this. We know that it's a pandemic of loneliness, of withdrawal. People are suffering because they are alone, and we need to connect. This is something that we need to do for ourselves. So if you are in need of connecting to people, we are a group of people that are open to connect with you. And if you want to spread the word and to work with us to make this happen, come on to become a leader. We need you to work with us.
That was Rodrigo Xavier. And this is the ACL Member Spotlight series, where every month we feature another one of our outstanding leaders of the Awareness, Courage, and Love Global Project. Created, edited, and produced by Miko Cardenas.